Guys, let's talk about clothing. Um, I wasn't going to do this till later in the session, like the 10 weeks, just because hopefully at some point the weather here will warm up. But right now we're shoulder season, so we're really not sure what to wear when, right? There's a lot of options. So this isn't actually a selfie stick, but I'm going to sort of use it like a selfie stick this morning. Just talk about this stuff. It's just what do you wear when? How do you decide what to wear? It's still sort of the standard thing. Like wintertime, you dress for like it's 10 degrees warmer than it actually is. So if it's 0, you dress like it's plus 10. And make sure you understand the difference between what wind chill is as well, right? Because plus 10, maybe minus 10 with the wind chill. So understand that part. But yeah, it's hard to figure out what to wear. So first, understand what running gear is like. How is it supposed to feel, right? Like, because we get this a lot in the store. People will come in and they'll say, I've always been a medium. They'll try on something that's a medium and say, Warren, this feels tighter than it should. That's because it's not your everyday wear. It's not what you do for when you're going up to a party or shopping or whatever. It's for running, right? You don't want to wear what am I going to say, like a kite, right? You want something that's going to be aerodynamic and for running specific. Also, you want stuff that will, again, wick, just everything's got to wick. It's got to draw the sweat off and evaporate. So you don't want something that's made out of cotton, because I started running when that's what we had was cotton. And once cotton gets wet, what happens? It just stays wet and it feels awful. So yeah, be careful with that. The other thing is how they fit. Like, there's a reason why I'm standing in front of the sports bras. I'm not going to talk a lot about bras today because I'm going to have somebody else come do a talk about that. She may actually do that live. We'll see. But anyway, bras is not your everyday bra. It's a run bra. Brooks has called their stuff run bras, not sports bras. But run bras specifically for one thing, right? For running. So, and if you understand the history of sports bras and run bras, it's unreal. It's like bras for ladies to run in are pretty much almost a recent thing. It was an invention. Two ladies decided to sew two jock straps together, and they worked, because the stuff that women went through was horrible. There's women still that will not run because of that, right? They need the right support. So we'll talk more about bras later on, but I'm going to say a bunch of things about bras. When you come in, expect them to feel different than your everyday bra. They're doing a different thing, right? You're not going dancing, you're going for a run. But maybe the same bra anyway. But also, always try more than one on. Make sure you get the right sizing. Find somebody that will fit you in the proper size bra. We have tape measures here. We have people that will do that for you. It won't be me. But if the store running room doesn't do that, there's a store somewhere that'll help make sure you fit properly. We usually send people to this place called Midnight Magic in St. Albert, because they will do that. And then once you know what that is supposed to be, then you're fine, right? And then try different ones, because they'll all feel different. They all fit different. Yes, I do know what a racer back is, and I know how much fun that might be to put on. But try them on. Never ever just grab one bra, run to the counter, say, I want this bra. Try on at least 3 of them, make sure they work. So same thing with clothing. So bras, but let's carry on. Socks. Again, not really apparel, but there's a lot of options, right? And again, with socks, you want the same thing, wick and evaporate. Wet sock inside a shoe is going to be awful, right? I know I had one lady said she insists she wanted cotton. She likes cotton. I'm going to say, try something else. A technical fabric, right? Wool, I guess if you're Scottish, wool would be fine. We do have something called smart wool, which is a little, not really exactly wool, but might work. But you want something that fits. My favorite socks are features right now. I like Stance as well. I like ours, the running room. But the thing I like most about these, first of all, never get a blister. Never get a blister. Never, ever. Famous last words, but you might get blisters. But never. And the idea is the compression, right? The sock just fits. It never loses that compression. It never feels like your sock is rolling up in your shoe. So perfect fit. Make sure you get the right fit. And yeah, the socks are great. We don't sell toe socks. Some people like them. I don't, but if that's an option, we don't carry them, but there's other stores that do. But that's another option. But you always want that. You want that compression. You don't want blisters. You want it to wick. You want the sock to fit and fit in your shoe. So yeah, make sure you got the right socks. We sell double layers. We always will. Again, we got these double layer socks. So there's 2 socks in one, right? One in the other. One against the shoe, one against your foot, and no friction on your foot, so no blisters. So that's the whole idea. And again, these things last forever. Just look after them. Some people will hang their socks to dry. I never have, but they say you should. Okay, somebody's trying to call me, whatever. But anyway, yeah, you want the sock to wick, you want the sock to fit, and you want the sock to last, so look after them. And once you try on a technical sock, it's hard to go back to cotton anyway. So that's socks. So socks and bras. Let's get to clothing, because this is a point where you're wondering, what do I wear? Do I need a jacket? What kind of jacket? What jacket do I wear? Do I want something that that is heavy, light, what? I like light, depends where you are. I actually like vests. I'm more a fan of vests because you just want to keep the core warm, right? But sometimes you want more. Vests are great. New Balance brought these to us earlier this season. But again, just you want something that works, that will wick, won't get over hot, right? Because that's worse, just as bad as getting cold. The other thing too is look for options. I don't know if you're like me, I carry my keys. I wish I had a car that had combination lock, but I do always have to carry a key fob with me. So I'm always looking for something that has a zipper, pocket, someplace I can put a secure spot where I can put that key or key fob. Maybe you want to take a credit card with you just in case, right? Because you never know. Or your phone. A lot of products now have pockets just for phones too. We'll talk about that in a second. I mean, I've got a pair of tights that the phone will fit, but a lot of phones are bigger and bigger now, so you have different options for that. So look for that. And I've had bad experiences with that too. I remember I had a vest, had a pocket. I threw my key in that pocket. Well, look, the vest had a ripcord, right, to tighten it up. Well, where that ripcord was came through the pocket, and where that ripcord came through the pocket, there was a hole. So during my run, some point, my key fell out. So could not get back in my car. I had to rerun the whole route. I still couldn't find my key. I had to get ride home. But yeah, watch for that. Watch for pockets. Watch for options. If you want a hood or detachable hood, watch for that. Sometimes you need that, sometimes you don't. Some people like hoods. I hate hoods because wind blows them all over the place, and I never ever wear one. But look for options. Make sure you got lots, so you don't have to buy 3 or 4 or 5 different things. And speaking of hoods, caps. Let's do that. This is, again, not a selfie stick, but it's sort of working that way. Anyhow, so caps, right? One of the things you should think about when you run too is you don't want to use energy for anything else but running, right? When you squint, that takes energy. So grab a cap. I think he's better. Okay, I don't normally wear pink, but a cap. Again, vented so it's not getting too hot, but you throw it on, keeps the sun out of your eyes, right? And yeah, so good stuff. I know a lot of optometrists would like that. So caps are a good idea, but the other thing too is don't be afraid to wear sunglasses. If you're like me and you have to wear a prescription, I guess it's a little different, but yeah, sunglasses. We've got Gooders. Gooders. You've probably heard of these things, which are great. Gooder sunglasses, reflective, right? And polarized, right? They don't bounce, and they're like 35 bucks. So yay, an option. Yeah, so keep the sun out of your eyes, which is a good thing, right? But yeah, and just make sure they don't bounce. Make sure, yeah, you're not squinting because you don't want to use up the energy. So let's talk about phones for a minute. There's a lot of options for carrying phones, right? So I'll move this away. You guys might get seasick watching this. But yeah, so we got these. Okay, you see the shoes there? You want to see this stuff there. So yeah, a lot of options there for phones. It depends on the phone, right? Because different ones, different sizes. Something like this from Nathan. Well, is it going to fit your phone or not, right? And I don't have much of a bicep, so these don't really work for me. I have tried a few different other ones. I kind of like these a little bit better. It depends if you want to see your phone all the time, but that you just roll up your arm. It fits nice, and you can put a lot of stuff in here, including a key and a phone. There's one other we had. I don't think we have it anymore. But yeah, you just want the right fit. You don't want the bounce. And yeah, again, same idea. You just throw it in here, and it's just secure. It doesn't bounce. And this one actually fit almost anything. I've got an iPhone, I think 10, and it works fine. But other option is, let's go over here to the other wall. Flip belts and versions of that. Flip belts are great too. I don't have my phone. I'm using my phone, so I can't really use it right now. But actually what happens is you can fit almost anything in here. And I'm just going to take a break here, guys, for 1 second. Somebody's at the door, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to splice. I'm gonna have to splice this thing. Our stores are closed on Monday, and these people see me in here on Monday and think we're open. Anyway, so for phones, for anything, again, flip belts are great. Even like this from Nathan as well. It's got a zipper. The flip belts don't have. So yeah, just throw your phone in there, and it's got to fit. Most of these things will stretch to fit whatever phone. Some don't, so you have to watch for that. And again, you always want to carry stuff, right? It's sometimes want to carry water. I miss the days when we used to have. I don't have it with me today, but it's just a single water bottle holder, just fit in the small of your back, which worked for guys better than females. I understand that part. But yeah, carrying water with you, you should. I'm going to say that right off the bat. I carry water pretty much every run, no matter the distances of 5K, 10K, or if I've gone for 42K. I carry water just because there's going to be that day where you don't have it with you and you wish you did. You know, is there going to be a water fountain nearby? Probably not. If you have money with you, you can stop at 7-Eleven, but it's nice to have. And it doesn't have to be something bulky. Like these things are cool. I see ultra marathoners use these things all the time. Just in your hand, carry water with you. And it just could be a little bit of water. It doesn't have to be a lot, maybe just a few ounces. And something you can refill easy, because a lot of races now are going cup free, right? They don't want to use cups because environment, right? So you got to carry something you can refill. So right on. And I like that idea. I don't know if you guys have done any races. You come to the aid station where there's water and you're running over top of banana peels and discarded cups. It's gross. Like I remember doing New York, it's like you got 45,000 runners. How many cups is that at every water station? I don't know if you wanted those people lining up, but still it's a waste, right? So yeah, a lot of races are going that way, so be prepared. So a lot of different options. You can carry different stuff with you. Again, if you want to carry something around your waist, these are an option, right? Smaller bottles, which is cool, and something that will fit a phone. So there's options. And again, like I said before, look for options. Think what you're going to be carrying with you, what you need. I'm going to say minimal. If you're doing a race, most races will have aid stations, so you don't really need to carry anything, maybe your car key. But if you're on your own, if you're running with a group on a training run, you want something, think about that as well. Because you're always looking for someplace to put stuff. I've seen people where they put their keys in their shoe. I remember I used to have a little foot pod that I would attach to my laces. That one time one of those fell off and I was without a key again. So another option too, let's talk about this stuff really quickly. I'm gonna talk more about heart rate monitors later, but again, here we go. Heart rate monitors, Wahoo's, Garmin's. I don't have a lot of Garmin's right now, but Garmin's an option as well. And what's a heart rate monitor for, right? It's or watch for a lot of things to keep track of your pace, your distance. Some will map out the routes for you. Most of them you can download to your computer or laptop or whatever and see where you've run, see your pace afterwards. Heart rate, some will alarm for different things for your pace, for your heart rate. If you want to set a heart rate for your training, they help as well. In earlier classes like Learn to Runs and stuff, I don't really say get a heart rate monitor, you got to watch. At this point, I think it's kind of nice to have. We never used to have them. I mean, when I first started running, we had Timex Ironman watches that could do 10 and 1s, and you just guessed your heart rate and distances. Now it's better, right? You can actually physically see that. And some of us are just like numbers. We like seeing that stuff. So it's nice to have. We'll talk about heart rate monitor probably I'm going to probably talk about this weekend on Sunday or Saturday. We'll talk heart rate and how that fits into everything, because that fits into the whole training thing, right? Because a lot of you guys are talking about that now. Effort and versus how fast or how hard you're supposed to go, these things will help. You can set them and say, what's my training heart rate supposed to be? Is it my maximum 150? You never want to go above that. Well, that'll alarm to say, hey, you're at this part, bud, you better back off a bit, right? You can monitor that with your breathing, but a lot of us need that little extra reminder. So another option. So yeah, sport watches. I don't know what to call them, because some people call them watches, sport watches, heart rate monitors, maybe because they all have heart rate monitors in them. And also heart rate monitors now, most of them measure from the wrist. Actually mine, I've got a Garmin, yay. I carry it with me because too cheap, I don't buy normal watch, I just buy one of these. And it monitors the heart rate right from, it's got this thing, it's called an optical thing, or majig. Just a little light on the bottom there. And it just basically measures your pulse going back and forth, right? Some of you guys have probably heard or tried or seen or maybe own a chest strap. Chest straps, we've always said are better, but I've used both. I haven't noticed a huge difference. I used to be one of those guys. I used to say, chest strap's better. And well, first of all, you don't want to swim with a chest strap. And second of all, these work just fine. They're not a medical device again. It's not like something you see at a doctor's office. It's close, and I've seen people that have benefited from having a heart rate monitor and had issues and found that out because they wore one. But it's not a medical device. I think Garmin, even on their page, or on their webpage, has a disclaimer saying this is not a medical device, it's an approximation. So it's not exact, but it's gonna be close, and for what we use it for, better. And also while we're here, you may have noticed these things. Aha, we talked about these I think before, the AfterShokz. Again, they just, let's just go over here, right on. Great, if you wanna listen to music, a great option. AfterShokz, I've got the titanium version I got like probably 3 years ago. They just go over your head, and they just fit on the bone just in front of your ear, not in the ear. So you can listen to music and hear everything going on around you. So if you're running with a sketchy area, if you're running on a place there might be skateboards coming up behind you, somebody on a bike, you can still hear that. Other stuff in your ears, not so much. I'm saying, like I said last week or 2 weeks ago, don't worry about, if you want to listen to music, fine, I'm okay with that, not really. But if you must, do it, but make sure you can hear stuff going on around you, because you never know. It's something I never think of as a guy, right? I know that, like I just did a run like last Friday through the River Valley here in Edmonton. And I just see a trail, I just go for it, right? It's off-road. Yes, I see like tarps and stuff and where homeless people might be staying. As a guy, I feel fine with that. I'm not worried about that. But then I talking to some friends yesterday. Well, if you're a single female running through that, you're worried, right? So it's nice to be able to hear what's going on, because you never know. And it's not necessarily to be a homeless person. It could be somebody else. So yeah, be careful, be safe, know what's going around you, be aware. If you're running, I'd say run with somebody else if you can. I'm not really going to talk about the accident I had 2.5 years ago. People freak out about it, but I had a bad fall, and I knocked myself off by myself. So it'd be nice if I was with somebody else. So if you can, run with other people. Groups are starting to happen again, like I said in my email on Sunday. Some places run clubs coming back. Park Run is best. I love them on Saturday mornings. So yeah, there are options. Okay, so we're still talking about clothes. So we talked a bit about bras and jackets. Let's talk about the other stuff. What do you need right now? We'll talk about, once it gets warm, we'll talk about t-shirts. And let's talk about jackets too. What do you want for a jacket? Again, how warm do you want it? What do you want that jacket to do? You want it to be able to breathe. You want it to be able to keep you cool, and keep you warm and dry. So, our wonderful, wonderful running room reflective jackets. These are a bit bulkier than sometimes I like, but what I like about these things, they're versatile. There's people that wear these things year round, because basically wintertime, what you're really looking for is a windbreaker, really, just to keep the wind chill off. That's the part that gets you cold. So if it keeps that off you, you're fine. If you need more, these are big enough you can layer underneath. And they're really reflective, so you can run at night in them. But it's a nice option. And we've been selling these probably for 35 years. So I'm gonna say they've been a big seller. And they're sort of our iconic running room thing. I know other people sell sort of the similar things, but running room. But again, layer underneath. Keep the wind chill off. If you need more, yes. If you need less, throw a t-shirt underneath this, you're fine. And also, we'll talk about rain. They're not water proof, they're water resistant. Remember that's two different terms. Waterproof is something you're not gonna get wet, period, right? If you're a fisherman, if you know fishermen or if you understand what fishermen do, I used to live on the West Coast, and fishermen wore slicks, right, to keep themselves dry. But those things got really, really warm really, really quickly. So not what you wanna run in. Expect to get wet when you run in the rain, but this will be less so. It's gonna be resistant. So if it's just a shower, fine. If you're standing underneath a gutter and water's pouring down on top of your head, yes, you're gonna get wet. I find when you're running, you don't get that wet. Well, you do get wet, I'm lying. But you want resistant, you wanna stay warm, you wanna stay sort of dry. We were talking about this yesterday. A lot of times, if it's raining, it's almost better to run in just a t-shirt or something if it's warm enough. Because a lot of jackets would just get wet and clammy. Wet and clammy, I don't know why somebody's phoning. I'm gonna ignore that. But yeah, wet and clammy, it's not going to feel that good. So sometimes just a t-shirt. And just, if it's raining, just remember you're going to get wet. You just want to stay warm. If it's cold, then throw a jacket on. And yeah, you're going to have a shower afterwards anyhow, so you're still going to get wet. I guess I got to answer this. Hello? No, we're closed on Mondays. Yeah, we carry old focus, yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow will be open at 10 o'clock. Just realize you're gonna get wet, and just it's running. It's in the elements. It's fine. It's twice as good as running on a treadmill. Actually, there's a few people I've talked to recently that I actually convinced to start running outside. It's better. It's like my favorite thing ever running in St. Albert. There's this one spot just over here. There's like a townhouse or condo development thing, and they've got a rec center or their gym sort of facing the trails. And I'll run past them at night, and you'll see like one lone guy running on a treadmill, and he's looking as we run past. It's like the most forlorn look ever. Like, why wouldn't you just go outside? I understand why some people do treadmills, but it's just better. Anyhow, so jackets. We were talking about jackets before I got interrupted by the phone. So you can go for a lighter jacket again for summer or spring, something like this. If it's a little bit chilly, like maybe 2 days ago, today's freezing. This will keep you a little bit warmer. Just keeps the wind off. But that's usually what makes you cold. And always remember, when you start running, you will warm up. So for tops, I'm on the guy's side, so I'm gonna stay on the guy's side. Yay, us. You just want something that's gonna wick as well, right? And what do you want? Again, a shirt, it's not gonna give you a lot of pockets. I'm gonna say the pants or shorts or tights or capris are the one where the pockets happen. But yeah, just look for something that's gonna wick. Make sure it's technical fabric. Make sure it can breathe. And yeah, just make sure, also fashion conscious, right? This is where it gets different. When I talk about shoes, we talk about, it's not how the shoe looks, it's how the shoe feels. Clothing, you're gonna pick what looks cool. And yeah, brag, wear great clothing. I'm sort of a big fan of that now. Is just show off, you're a runner. You wanna look like a runner, right? Look like you're Andre DeGrasse and you're about to win a sprint. So that's an option. Now pants and tights and capris. Different people like different things, right? Tights, you want loose pants or you want tight tights? I'm a guy that likes compression. I like stuff that feels secure. But once the weather gets above like plus 10, we're throwing on shorts. But if you must, if you're gonna be running in the mountains, you might want something a little bit warmer. So again, look for something with options. Like this has got a pocket in the back. So there's a zipper there, which is even better. So you can throw your phone or your car key fob in there, your keys, credit cards, some change, whatever. So that's another option, nice option. A lot of these things you can actually roll up in a ball too. Our reflective jackets, you can almost fold them up and just carry them if they get too warm, or just tie them around your waist. That's another option. But yeah, tights are great. Again, if you want baggier pants, we don't sell a lot anymore. There's some that we do, but not really a whole lot. It's more it's supply and demand. Who wants more? Who wants what? Again, I prefer tighter. If you want looser, that's an option. But also make sure they're secure, because you don't want to run with a tent. You don't want to run with a parachute, right? You want something that's aerodynamic. So make sure that you understand that. It's not everyday clothing, it's running clothing. You don't skate, you don't play hockey and stuff you wear to the office, right? So yeah, you want to make sure it's proper and properly fit. Options, I guess I can talk about insoles real quickly. Again, it's not really apparel, but why not? Insoles, again, don't use insoles to prolong the life of a shoe. If the shoe's done, it's done. These things are not going to make that much of a difference. But if you need a little more support than the shoe you have, if you love the shoe, if the shoe fits great, and it just needs a little bit more than it has, this is an option. Some have more cushioning in them too. If you need a little more cushioning, that's not a bad idea. But make sure do you really need to spend the extra $50? I guess I sell the stuff, so I don't mind. But again, just a little bit of support. it's not like as much support as the shoe's going to give you, but just a little more. And it's not an orthotic. If you have an orthotic, this is not the option. But a lot of physios will send people here for these rather than an orthotic because they don't really need to spend $400. So yeah, orthotics are a good option. So clothing, so we talked about tops, we talked about bottoms, we talked about options, we talked about everything. I could talk about swim stuff, but this is a running clinic. So we'll say that's that, and hopefully the phone doesn't ring anymore. Again, what do you want? Do you want tank tops or do you want short sleeve? Up to you, it's personal choice. And I always wonder about some stuff. Tights, again, waterproof. Again, not waterproof. They call them water resistant. Again, tights if you want. Capris if you want. Yeah, shop for color. I kind of say because you want to show off. And you do. A lot of the stuff is expensive too, right, guys? So look after it. Wash in cold water, hang dry. Same thing as bras. Dry. Get a garment bag if you're going to throw them in a washing machine. Make sure you do up the clips, and yeah, make sure they air dry. Don't throw them in the dryer because dryers ruin everything. I don't know why we have dryers. Anyhow, because yeah, hang dry. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. We'll talk about questions. Well, I can answer questions after we're done. And yes, shop, and I'm gonna go home and splice these 3 pieces together. So yeah, questions right away. Did I talk about everything? I did. Everything. Yeah. So yeah, questions. Go now.